Moments where emotions are running high, rumors are swirling everywhere, and patience is wearing thin. After the stunning Week 6 loss to the Carolina Panthers, the whispers started almost instantly. Are the Cowboys turning into sellers at the trade deadline? And today, those whispers have turned into headlines. Reports from multiple outlets, including FanSided and DallasCowboys.com, are saying the front office could explore moving 3 names before the November 4th NFL trade deadline: Mazi Smith, Jalen Tolbert, and yes, even Trevon Diggs. But before anyone hits panic mode, let's take a deep breath and look at what's really happening in Dallas, because this story isn't what it seems. Let's start with the reality. The Cowboys are sitting at 2-3-1, a record that's far from what Jerry Jones envisioned when he made the bold move to trade Micah Parsons to Green Bay for 2 first-round picks. That deal, controversial as it was meant to set the foundation for a new era, a more balanced roster, a more disciplined defense, and a long-term strategy under Brian Schottenheimer, who's been steering this team with calm confidence despite the chaos. But the problem isn't belief. It's execution. This defense, once feared, has been a shell of itself. The pass rush has moments, the offense can light up the scoreboard, but the heart of the defense, that relentless identity that used to strike fear, hasn't been there. And now, as the trade deadline approaches, the Cowboys have a choice. Do they swing big and add firepower for a late-season run? Or do they face the music, retool, and focus on the future? Let's break down the names at the center of all this. The first name on every list is Mazi Smith. And let's be honest, this one hurts. Drafted with high expectations out of Michigan, Smith was supposed to be the answer in the middle of the line, a run-stuffing monster who could clog lanes, collapse pockets, and give Dallas the kind of interior presence they've lacked for years. But so far, it's been disappointment. Through 6 games, Mazi has appeared in only 3. He's recorded just 1 tackle, and reports from The Athletic suggest that the coaching staff hasn't found a consistent role for him in Schottenheimer's defensive scheme. But let's not ignore the context here. Dallas's defensive front has been in flux since Week 1. Between Kenny Clark's rotation, Osa Odighizuwa's interior pass rush snaps, and the constant personnel juggling, Smith has never had the stability to find rhythm. That's not a player problem, that's a system problem. So if Jerry Jones decides to move Mazi Smith, it won't be because the kid can't play. It'll be because Dallas is shifting toward a more aggressive, speed-driven front, one that prioritizes mobility and hybrid defenders over raw size. And that, whether fans love it or hate it, might actually be the right call for this roster. Still, for every Cowboys fan who wanted to see Mazi develop into a dominant anchor, this one will sting. Next up, Jalen Tolbert. This one feels more like heartbreak than frustration. Last season, Tolbert put up 49 receptions, 610 yards, and 7 touchdowns, solid numbers, dependable play, and flashes of a breakout. But then came 2025, and the rise of George Pickens. Pickens has taken over as Dallas's wide receiver 2, and he's done it with a bang. The chemistry between Dak and Pickens is undeniable. The timing, the trust, the deep ball threat, and with Ryan Flournoy becoming the surprise of the season, Tolbert has found himself slipping down the depth chart. It's not that he's done anything wrong, it's that the Cowboys have evolved faster than anyone expected. This offense has shifted to a vertical, explosive system built around Pickens' separation ability and Flournoy's speed. Tolbert, who's more of a possession-style receiver, suddenly looks like a player without a home. And according to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, at least 3 receiver-needy teams, including the Patriots, Chargers, and Rams, have quietly reached out to Dallas to gauge their interest in a late-round trade. Would it hurt to see him go? Absolutely. But here's the thing. If Dallas can get future draft capital while trusting Pickens and Flournoy to lead the next generation, this could be a smart, forward-thinking move. And sometimes, that's what good teams do. They know when to say goodbye before it's too late. And now the name that no one wants to say out loud, Trevon Diggs. For years, Diggs was the flash, the fire, the swagger of this secondary. His interception numbers were elite, his personality even bigger. But over the past 2 seasons, something has changed. Since his ACL injury in 2023, the relationship between Diggs and the Cowboys organization has been strained. He chose to rehab privately, not at the team's facility, which led to tension and eventually a $509,000 team fine for missed sessions. Then came the benching, a message from Schottenheimer's staff that no one, not even a Pro Bowler, is above accountability. Now, reports say that Dallas has quietly listened to offers. And while it's not a guarantee that Diggs will be moved, the writing is on the wall. DaRon Bland, who recently signed a new deal, has emerged as the team's most consistent cornerback, and younger players like Eric Scott Jr. are showing real promise in coverage. So yes, the rumors are real. Teams like the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins have reportedly called. And as shocking as it sounds, this could be one of those trades that hurts in the short term, but helps the Cowboys stabilize long-term cap space and locker room chemistry. Still, this one would send waves across the fan base, because for all his flaws, Trevon Diggs was part of the Cowboys' identity. It's easy to see these reports and think the Cowboys are giving up, that they're waving the white flag on 2025 and looking toward 2026. But inside the Star in Frisco, that's not the mood at all. According to team insiders, Jerry Jones and Brian Schottenheimer are not selling off talent. They're realigning. This is about resetting the foundation while staying competitive. It's about cutting the noise, removing distractions, and building a team that plays hungry again. And that's exactly why this could be the turning point Dallas needs. The loss to Carolina wasn't the end. It was the wake-up call, a reminder that you can't win games on paper, that names don't matter if there's no heart behind them. Now, the Cowboys are looking to rebuild that heart brick by brick. This isn't a fire sale, it's a culture correction. If you're a fan watching this, remember one thing: Jerry Jones doesn't tank, not in his DNA. He's one of the most competitive owners in sports, and even in a disappointing season, he's thinking about how to turn it around, fast. The Cowboys have multiple draft picks lined up thanks to the Micah Parsons trade. They're projected to have $58 million in cap space in 2026 per Spot Track. And with players like Dak Prescott, George Pickens, and Jake Ferguson still in their prime, this team isn't far from being back in the mix. And let's not forget, the NFC is still wide open. Philadelphia has been inconsistent. San Francisco has struggled with injuries. There's no unbeatable team standing in their way. If Dallas can stabilize the defense and rediscover balance on offense, this team could easily finish strong. A wild-card berth is not out of reach. And with Overshawn and potentially Trey Hendrickson, if that trade still materializes, the entire energy shifts overnight. Look, it's easy to overreact to trade rumors. It's what we do as fans. But sometimes these moments of uncertainty are where great teams are born. The Cowboys aren't breaking apart. They're redefining what it means to wear that star. They're getting back to grit, discipline, and unity. And if moving a few names helps get them there, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about losing players. It's about finding identity. And something tells me that under Brian Schottenheimer's leadership, with Jerry's stubborn fire still burning and Dak Prescott playing the most mature football of his career, this team's story is far from over. So don't buy the panic, buy the process. This is Dallas Insider, and I'll say it again. The Cowboys may bend, but they never break. The trade deadline might bring change, but it might just bring the spark that turns this season around. Now, I want to hear from you, Cowboys Nation. Would you trade any of these 3 players? Or do you believe Jerry should hold the line and make one more push? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe for every update as we head toward the trade deadline. Because one thing's for sure, the Cowboys aren't done yet. Not this team, not this season.